Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 273 of the show. Hopefully, everybody's having a great week. Crazy times in wrestling right now. Is WWE being sold to the highest bidder? Is they are going to be a Saudi Arabian company now, or could possibly be Mr. Tony Khan buying it with his father? Could we see karma biting Vince McMahon in the ass? We're just gonna have to keep sitting. Right now, there's no fucking story. I am floored that he's back. I am just beyond. I didn't watch SmackDown and I didn't watch Raw this week. But somebody came to me and sat me down and said, "You do realize there's like reports and reviews and everything of the show through print, right?" And I said, "Yeah." Well, why don't you just read what went on and go from there? You didn't watch it, but you still are talking about it because it's going to be on your show either way because of it. So why don't you shout out a publication so that they get the credit that you're using their material and thank them and whatnot, and you end up still retaining your core audience and still be able to feed into that and be able to kind of make your show more meatier and more, how can I explain it, more inclusive, because there is going to be news coming out of this with the possible sale of WWE, and um whoever buys it, maybe I can get back into watching it because I know that he's not there, and if he still is there, then I don't know what to do, but it will behoove me. I am not watching it. I swear to you on God's green earth, I'm not watching it. I didn't put it on Saturday. Not Saturday, Friday on my computer, and I didn't put it on my computer or television on Monday. I haven't watched it, so this is all going to be news to me. So when I'm reading it, if it's a little surprising to me, then you'll understand, and then you don't think that I'm BSing people on here. Then you're gonna wonder how I'm gonna come up with it. I used to tell you the God's honest truth. I thought I was really excited for WrestleMania and Royal Rumble season. Not after this. I canceled my Peacock service, so that's done. I have actually picked up on a card, which I watched all out. Not all out, all in. Which was I now kicking myself in the ass for not ordering it, okay? But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I will be reading results from Monday and Friday from in fact, I frequent their site, and they've been nothing but sweet to me, and I've been sweet to them, and we have no issues. And I just want to let you know that I will be reading from this point on. Any WWE results, news, whatever the case may be, will be from Ringside News. Okay, so um that is that. That is that. So I chose to do it this way because I can't just do AEW. I'd have no show. I'd have no show at all. So even though I'm not watching it, I'm still, I read about it. And I read about it not from the WWE website. I read it on Twitter. I read it on other publications and stuff like that. So I think that's the best course of action. I mean, I was a little uh, uh, figured trigger or trigger figured or whatever the case may be. Now I'm going to do it this way, and I'm hoping that you guys can respect my decisions on why I'm doing this, because you know it's truly unfair for the people who do tune in, and this is a wrestling show. I shouldn't be, uh, discriminatory. I'm going to give you what I can, however Ringside News allows me to, and I will be shouting them out on a weekly basis to thank them for allowing me to access this on my tablet and phone and being able to get the word out. And I'll even shout out if there is a reporter or anything, I will shout him out or her out. So let's get down to brass tacks. Please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Harry's.com. Get your toiletries and your shaving essentials there. I'm telling you, it's a really good razor. They just came out with this new blade. It's metal, which I'm considering getting due to the fact is that the plastics and the rubber, it's just gets like a very slippery feel. And if I have the metal, it's not as slippery. Plus, it looks really, really nice. And, maybe I'll get another one for my dad. My dad's, Father's Day is going to come here very, very quickly. So I might do that. I might get it for the entire family. But most of my family members are beards. So that I turn to Maestro Classics. So, yeah, I'm like a Jane of all trades. And speaking of shaving, oh, my God, this weekend I got to they're teaching me at my son's school because I'm going to visit him. I'm going to go visit him tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'm going to be, well, if it's past, no, it's not even past midnight. Well, this is supposed to be for Friday, so I would be going to see him tomorrow, which is Saturday. I will be taught how to shave his face because, I got to learn how to do it. He may not have the patience enough, and he's just going to want me to do it, and I don't have a problem doing it. So tomorrow on Saturday, I will be learning how to shave my son's face. I am fucking nervous. Yeah. And plus it just gets me closer to him to be an adult, which I'm not liking very, very much so because of the fact that I'm going to be 41 in May and I have an 18-year-old. When the fuck did that happen, But, and I know that I've been trying to see if I could get time to do another video about Wrestle Kingdom, and I feel like so upset that I couldn't even really get to it because of personal medical reasons. So I just best that it was a great show. I'm gonna try for 18 next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, and hopefully that we can get up at early in the morning, do the breakfast thing. I had everything planned. I was gonna order breakfast. I was gonna have it sent over here, but things just weren't in the cards for me. All right, I'm gonna actually do AEW now first, and WWE's second because of the whole situation. It's only fair and everything. So I'm gonna put my tablet to the side. I have AEW's notes up on my phone where we can get to it. Last week was Battle of the Belts. Oh, wait a second. What the heck? I forgot to shout out to more other people. Please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. And go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. And go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net for House of Glory. I am so sorry for that. So they were at the Portland Coliseum. And they were at the Battle of the Belts. We started off with the Blackpool Combat Club versus Top Flight, Dante Martin, and Darius Martin. So Top Flight were looking to keep their momentum from 2022 going strong as they took it to Mox early on. Danielson grabbed a blind tag and kicked and chopped away at Dante in the corner. Danielson stood on top of the turnbuckle and dropped fists on Dante. Danielson attempted a hurricanrana, but Dante landed on his feet. This body control is incredible, isn't it? Asked Shivani. Danielson and Moxley and Top Flight traded strikes in the center of the ring. It broke down into a brawl at ringside. Moxley booted Dante off a steel chair. The Blackpool Combat Club squashes Darius in the corner. Danielson applied the Romero special on Dante Martin. Danielson transitioned into a Dragon Sleeper on Dante. Dante's in the Inferno right here, said Jim Ross. Mox tagged in and clobbered Dante with a big-time boots. Moxley suplexed Dante for a near fall. They're swarming over Dante Martin here in a pack of wolves, said Jericho. Finally, Darius managed to make a tag to his brother. Danielson nailed Darius with a stiff open palm strike, and Darius yelled, "That's the best you've got?" Darius caught a kick from Danielson and countered with heavy hands on his own. Darius hit a Spanish fly reversal on Brian Danielson. Moxley jumped in, but Darius flattened him and tagged out to Darius. Dante. Dante connected with a high cross body press for a 2 count on Moxley. Dante dropped Moxley for another near fall. Dante hit a frog splash, but Moxley ate it and then rolled over with hammer and anvil strikes. Moxley wrecked Dante with a King Kong lariat for a 2 count. Danielson tagged in and smashed Darius with a running knee. Danielson kicked at Darius' head while Moxley jumped off the top turnbuckle to Dante on the outside. Danielson applied the Regal stretch submission and forced Darius to tap. There is no losers in this match like that, said Jericho. Backstage, Adam Hangman Page has had a medical release from his doctor, so he was able to go and take on Moxley on Dynamite this past Wednesday. He promised that Moxley would remember Page, knocking him out. "Mox, I'll see you at the Forum," said Hangman Adam Page. AEW Women's Champion Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus the Renegade Sisters, Charlotte and Robin Renegade. Hayter and Baker ambushed the Renegade Sisters at the start of the match. Hayter hit a back elbow, and then Robin retaliated with a double knees in the corner. Charlotte and Robin tried to double team Hayter. "Wait until Jamie gets angry. You'll see a different side of her then," said Jericho. Hayter double suplexed the Renegade Sisters. "Told you," said Jericho. Baker tagged in and used a sling blade on Robin Renegade for a 2 count. Charlotte tagged in and planted Baker with a spinebuster. Charlotte followed up with a fisherman suplex. Hayter jumped in with a breaker. Hayter and Baker nailed Renegade with a sandwich elbows, and then Baker scored the pin after the curb stomp on Charlotte. The House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart spoke from an undisclosed location in the shadows. Black said Eddie Kingston asked Black why didn't he play by the rules. Malachi Black said he misses the man that he used to know. Eddie, we said a year ago we would turn your eyes black like a shark smelling blood. Julia Hart, Eddie, we're here to help you. I want to give a little something into this. I don't know how, I don't know when it happened, I don't know why it happened. But this dark shit is doing something to my womanly parts, and it's good. I am legitimately godsmacked about this. I go from pretty boys to fucking, like, they're going to execute, or they're going to be possessed by the devil. And I find that fucking sexy as fucking hell. And the tattoos, what the fuck? Seriously, people, this is what 41 almost brings me to. And don't get me started about the cougar shit. That's just another fucking goddamn episode here. That's just another fucking subject here. But moving on. Piero Pelagoso versus Sonico. Sonico dropped Preston, but Preston spiked him with a spinebuster. Preston walloped Sonico with a disc lariat and pinned Sonico in short order. After the match, Preston Vance tore off Sonico's mask. Main event time. TNT Championship Open Challenge. Darby Allin versus Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis' husband. Bennett had a wrist lock on Darby, but Darby reversed it. Bennett kicked at Darby's knees and sending Darby hobbling outside. Bennett came in with a high boot to Darby and then hurled Darby against the steel barricade. Darby drop-kicked Bennett and then rocketed outside with a tope suicida. Taven shoved Bennett out of the way, took the brunt of the blow from the tope. Darby grabbed Bennett with a Russian leg sweep off the ring apron and down on the arena floor. Back in the ring, momentum shifted as Mike smashed Darby with a Death Valley driver. Darby rallied back, striking Bennett with forearms and then placing him on a steel chair outside the ring. Darby drop-kicked from the top turnbuckle to Bennett on the floor. The fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Darby was about to go for the coffin drop on Bennett when Maria jumped into the ring to act as a human shield. As the ref forced Maria out of the ring, Taven shoved Darby off the top rope, sending him crashing onto the mat. Bennett hoisted Darby for a avalanche piledriver, but Darby countered with an avalanche code red. Darby climbed back up and pinned Bennett after the coffin drop. Darby comes out on top after a real battle, said Jim Ross. So we're going to go right into the Battle of the Belts, and that was the second hour of last week's show. So we're going to start off with the World Tag Team Champions, no holds bars. The Acclaim versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Hardy. Lethal locked on a figure four on Bowens on the ramp. It turned into a rolling figure four as they reversed it, back and forth all the way down the ring to the ring. Anthony Bowens booted Jarrett in the ring, followed up with a flipping neck breaker. We're seeing the evolution of the Acclaim. They're getting better every week, said Jim Ross. Lethal drove Bowens into the barricade with a tope. Lethal and Jarrett strutted inside the ring to celebrate. Bowens turned Lethal inside out with a lariat. Caster tagged in and threw a thrust kick at Jarrett. Caster grabbed an ankle lock on Jarrett. Lethal dropped an elbow on the ref Billy Gunn. Saw the ref go down and tackled Lethal, taking advantage of the moment. Jarrett grabbed his guitar, but Bowens grabbed a boombox. Sonjay pulled out Bowens' ankle, his head smashing into the boombox as he fell. Billy Gunn pulled the guitar away from Jarrett and then rocked Sodoman with it. Sodoman was infuriated and double chokeslammed the Acclaim. He followed up with a chokeslam to ref Mike Posey. Lethal smashed Bowens with a lethal injection. Ref Aubrey Edwards sprinted to the ring and shoved Sanjay Judd out. Bowens nailed Lethal with an arrival while Caster followed up with the mic drop for the win. We go for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill versus Sky Blue. Jade blocked a crossbody block attempt from Sky, but Sky used her agility to grab a near fall. Jade cracked Sky with a forearm to the face, sending her to the arena floor. Jade chokeslammed Sky on the ramp. Ref Aubrey Edwards ran to check on Sky. Red Velvet began to walk down the ramp, staring a hole into Jade Cargill. Sky Blue beat the count of 10, jumping back on into the ring. Jade quickly grabbed Sky and began ramming Sky's head into the turnbuckles. Sky showed signs of life with a knee strike and then a kick to the back of Jade's head. Jade fired back with a massive pump kick. That was majestic, such force too, said Jericho. Red Velvet walked closer to the ring. Layla confronted her, and Red Velvet whipped her out with a slap to the face. Sky charged at Jade, looking for a Hurricanrana, but Jade countered with a jaded and pinned Sky Blue. Sky Blue, even in losing, that has to be the best match of her career, said Jericho. I have a feeling because she deserves it. I think Red Velvet is going to be possibly the new TBS champion. Main event time for the Battle of the Belts, All Atlantic Championship. Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian. Orange grounded and pounded Kip. Sabian at the start of the match, Kip went outside to collect himself. Kip mocked Orange by putting on Orange's sunglasses. The bunny skipped down the ramp, and stood next to Penelope Ford. Orange was taken off his game, and Kip kicked Orange Cassidy. Danhausen launched a curse on Kip. Orange connected with a tope suicida and then a diving crossbody on Kip. The curse worked, said Jericho. Orange smashed Kip with a stun dog millionaire. Kip countered with a tope with a neckbreaker onto the arena floor. Kip attempted a cannonball senton, but Orange dodged it. Orange superplexed Kip back into the ring. Orange removed his elbow pad, but the bunny grabbed Orange's boot. Ref Paul Turner ejected the bunny. Butcher and the Blade walked onto the ramp, but Danhausen tried to fight them off. Butcher clobbered Danhausen with a high boot. Butcher and Blade grabbed chairs and sat at ringside. Orange and Kip Sabian exchanged elbow strikes in the ring. These guys are throwing fireballs here, said Jericho. Kip Sabian lured Orange in and cracked him with a headbutt. Kip followed up with a knee strike to Orange. The best friends ran down to the ring and knocked Blade and Butcher with steel chairs. Kip nailed Orange with the corkscrew brainbuster and then popped him with an orange punch. Orange rallied back with a DDT and then a beach break for a near fall. Orange duped up Kip with double dose of orange punch and then pinned Kip Sabian. And that was that. On to Dynamite. So, Revolution is going to be coming up in March, which I will be watching and covering and all that jazz. Again, I'm not going to be covering Royal Rumble, but I will make a quick video of the review and whatnot. So you'll get the news out there and whatnot, but I'm not covering paper unless something happens in the next from here to the Royal Rumble. We'll have to see. But as of right now, I am not covering it. Dynamite was coming from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, California. We start with Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley. All business, you can see Mox is ready to fight. He always is ready to fight, as is his opponent, said Taz. Both men slugged it out with Mox rocking Page with 3 consecutive shots. Hangman fired back with a big boot in the corner. Page ducked a lariat from Moxley, but Page backdrop was countered by Moxley. Mox dug his nails into Page's back and then suplexed Adam Page onto the mat. Mox went for an armbar, but Hangman Page rolled into it, attempting a pinning predicament. Moxley sent Page flying with a German suplex and then a second release German suplex. Hangman Page rallied back with an overhead throw to Moxley. Hangman was looking for a buckshot lariat, but Mox charged at him and knocked him to to the steel barricade on the arena floor. Moxley fired a lariat at John Moxley on the arena floor. Back in the ring, Moxley nearly decapitated Hangman Page with a King Kong lariat. Hangman retaliated with a clothesline of his own. That was a massive lariat from Hangman, said Excalibur. Hangman nailed Moxley with a fallaway slam. Hangman had one lariat blocked by Moxley, but then Hangman reared back with the other arm. Page followed up with a moonsault off the ring post to Moxley on the arena floor. Back of the ring, Moxley countered the buckshot lariat with a Death Rider for a near fall. Moxley transitioned into the hammer and elbows. Moxley applied the bulldog choke. The fans chanted, "This is awesome, this is awesome." Moxley spiked Page with a pile driver, but Page kicked out at the count of 1. Moxley tried a roundhouse kick, but Page caught it and then rocked Mox with the Deadeye. Moxley got up and curb stomped Hangman Page. You can thank Mr. Seth Rollins for that one, because he's never used that before. Hangman came up with a headbutt off the mat and at Moxley. They traded palm strikes. Page landed a lariat and then buckshot lariat for the pin over Moxley. And at the end of the match, Moxley was down, and he was getting treated by medical staff. So then we go into the next segment. We wonder who it is. Mr. Tony Schiavone gets in the ring. He's like, I hate having to interview this guy. I'm thinking it's fucking MJF because that's the only one I'm thinking of. But no, baby. Mr. Adam Cole's back, and he had to do a fucking AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, and getting into the building situation. Holy shit, it was like fucking goddamn sneaking in the goddamn president of the United States. Crazy. It was fucking nuts. But Adam Cole came out. Who was ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? I've been thinking all day about what I'm going to say when I came out here. This is a good news, bad news type situation. Let me start with the good news. I have a whole new appreciation for pro wrestling. But for my life, when I was 9 years old, all I ever wanted to do was be a professional wrestler. I am here in AEW, the best pro wrestling company. It has also made me realize how much I miss getting to be here. Because the past 3 months, I was really banged up. I had a shoulder torn to shreds. I had 2 back-to-back head injuries. I was seeing doctors multiple times a week. The worst part was the sleep, because I would lay there emotional all over the place. I get up and pace, my heart racing. I look at Britt and say, I don't know what's happening to me. So many of you were there for me. I read things like, I miss Adam Cole. I don't care if Adam Cole never wrestles again. I just want him to be okay. And that meant the world to me. Because at the end of the day, pro wrestling is give and take. I've given you nothing for 6 months, but you were still there for me. And I'm eternally grateful. Now for the bad news. The thing is, the bad news, it's not for me. The bad news is for the AEW locker room, because Adam Cole is back and I am not going anywhere. My career was over. I thought for sure I was finished. Instead, I stand in front of you saying, no way. I ain't done yet, because I have been one of the best damn pro wrestlers on this planet for 15 years, and I will not stop. I haven't even scratched the surface of what I'm capable of. Remember this day. This day when a new Adam Cole is born. An Adam Cole who will make a promise one day, no matter how long it takes, one man will be at the top of the mountain, and his name is Adam Cole. Oh my god, I actually fucking verklempt. I was verklemping through that whole fucking process. But I gotta reminisce. I was hoping that he'd fucking say, you know what, fuck you fans, and turn into the dick prick I love. But, I understand, this is a guy that's got that now Cody Rhodes story, the Shawn Michaels story. He goes away because he's hurt and everything. He's gonna come back and he's gonna be on a fucking run of a lifetime. And I'm here for it. I am so happy he's back. I mean, there's a little part of me, when before Vince McMahon came fucking tearing through WWE again, that there was always a little hope maybe he'd come back. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's healthy. And you know what? He's back, and I miss him terribly on television. He's my boy. He's my boy. Thank you, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Moving on, Jungle Boy and Hook versus the Firm, Big Bill, and Lee Moriarty. Jungle Boy and Lee Moriarty lock up. They traded chops in the corner. Hook tagged in, and he and Jungle Boy hit double elbow on Lee. Hook applied the short arm scissors on Lee, but Lee escaped. Jungle Boy tagged back in, and he and Jungle Boy used tandem offense on Lee Moriarty. Jungle Boy tried a tope suicida, but Big Bill caught Jungle Boy and tried to choke slam him. Lucky Hook was there to stop the choke slam. Big Bill booted Jungle Boy, and then Lee dropped a knee on Jungle Boy, sending Jungle Boy spilling to the arena floor. Hook made the tag and hit Lee with a Northern Lights suplex. Bill got in the ring, but Hook T-boned Big Bill overhead. The crowd lost their minds on that, said Shivani. Jungle Boy locked in the snare trap on Lee and forced Lee to tap out. Winner is Hook and Jungle Boy. Moving on. American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus Konosuke Takeshita. Takesha. I hate these Japanese names. Takesha. I'm gonna keep saying it because I'm gonna fuck this guy's name up. I thought I had the fucking goddamn name. I kept saying it all fucking goddamn day today, just so that I could get it, but it took me 6 months to get Shinsuke Nakamura, so please give me a fucking break here. Before the match began, AEW World Champion MJF walked onto the ramp and down to the ring. MJF, cut my music. I'm not going to lie to you. Takesha, these people really seem to think you're a big deal. I haven't seen a lick of your stuff. Don't take it personally. I really need you to win this match. You understand what I'm trying to say? Wow, and I thought Danielson was a bad public speaker around here. We speak American. Takesha, I think it's Takesha or Takeshita. I think it's Takesha. I'm going to fuck this guy up. I got to sit and listen to the fucking name at least 20,000 times to get it. I'm sorry. Before this whole thing, he goes and he says to Takesha, he said, is your name Takeshita or something like that? And so then he says, kiss my ass in Japanese, which I found it hilarious. Which I'm glad that he does know how to speak English. It's a bonus for everybody. Takesha shoved MJF. MJF, I want him out of the ring. People have been saying I'm afraid of Danielson. I'm afraid I can't last an hour. Is that right? How about you do me a favor and you ask your mama, your sister, and your girlfriend just how long MJF can last? I'm a real Iron Man of professional wrestling. I'm sorry, did I offend you people here? Or is it because you people actually liked it, Bryan Danielson? That makes so much sense. That makes sense because much like Bryan, you are all irrelevant. There will be no 1 hour Iron Man match. Not over my dead body. Do you know why? Because I'm MJF and I'm better than you, and you know it. Bryan Danielson's music hits. Danielson charged to the ring, and MJF retreated. The match began, and Takesha knocked Danielson down with a shoulder tackle. Danielson countered a blue thunder bomb. Danielson tripped up Takesha with a toe hold. Danielson hoisted up Takesha with a Romeo special, then transitioned to the Dragon Sleeper. Takesha escaped and hammered Bryan with forearms. Danielson rocked Takesha with a roundhouse kicks. Takesha connected with the Takesha line, launching off the ropes. Takesha forced a break before Danielson could apply the label lock. Danielson charged into the corner with a dropkick to Takesha. Danielson tried again, but Takesha countered with the Blue Thunder Bomb, which in some way or somehow fucking Sami Zayn is smiling from ear to ear. Takesha blasted Danielson with a brainbuster on the floor. Takesha tried for a senton on Timoko, but Danielson raised his knees up to block it. Bryan had the label lock on Takesha, but Takesha made it to the ropes. Bryan fired off a series of kicks to Takesha, but Takesha rallied back with big strikes of his own. They exchanged forearms until Takesha cracked Danielson with a lariat. That sounded like a crack of a bat, said Excalibur. Takesha sent Danielson flying with a German suplex for a near fall. He tried it again, but Bryan landed on his feet. Bryan hit a knee strike for a near fall on Takesha. What is MJF thinking watching this? Backstage, wondered Taz. Daniel stomped on Takesha's head. Danielson trapped Takesha's arms with, and ref Aubrey Edwards stopped the match as Takesha fell unconscious. So Danielson picks up another victory, a step closer to MJF and the match at Revolution. Renee Paquette with backstage with Juice Robinson. Juice, I'm here to kick ass, take names, and win championships. Along the way, so Darby Allin, you want an open challenge? I'm going to challenge you to a match Friday on Rampage, and let's see if you are as tough as you think you are. WWE, oh Jesus, I'm fucking, I have that on the brain because of this stupid fucking sales shit. AEW Women's Championship, Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker, ZMT with Rebel versus Saraya and Toni Storm. Everybody thought Mercedes Moné was going to come. It's not happening. She's not going to come from random fucking goddamn Dynamite. She's going to go on a big stage at a pay-per-view, and that's it. And she might not even be there. She might not even... I don't care what people say, especially at this point in the time. She is going to go appearance by appearance. She's not going to sign into a long-term deal. She's going to sign for multiple dates, and she's not going to be on a yearly thing. She doesn't want to do that. She wants to be able to be free. And if Tony Khan can give that to her, so be it. So Hayter chopped at Toni Storm's, but Storm came back with a shotgun dropkick and then a hip attack, sending Hayter to the floor. Saraya tripped up Jamie Hayter and then tagged out to Toni Storm. Hayter double suplexed Toni and Saraya. Baker nailed Toni with a neck breaker outside the ring. Shida came down to the ring with a kendo stick. Saraya planted Baker with the nightcap. Britt was looking for the air raid crash, but Soraya escaped and tagged out to Tony Storm, landing the hip attack on Baker, and then a DDT for a near fall. Storm put the Texas cloverleaf on Baker, but Hayter was there to boot Storm in the face, freeing up Baker. Britt planted Tony Storm with an avalanche air raid crash for a near fall on Tony. Hayter smashed Tony with the Hayter breaker. Tony Storm planted Hayter with a pile driver. Storm clocked Britt with a thrust kick. Tony and Jamie traded forearms in the center of the ring. Sheeta slid the kendo stick into the ring. Baker grabbed it and whacked Storm in the back. Hayter hit Storm with the Hayter aid and pinned Storm. Is Sheeta going to turn heel? We shall see. The Jericho Appreciation Society appeared. The entire fucking motley crew of them. Parker, I want you to all you to take a good hard look. Damn, we look good. Don't we? You should start calling LA our town because we are the saints of Los Angeles. Menard, do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? How about the fact that last week Jake Hager powerbombed Ricky Starks through a table? How about that? Jericho, this is one of the biggest weeks in the history of Jericho Appreciation Society. It's history. Just a few nights away, we evaded PWG. The surprise heard around the world. Man, we win again. The Ricky Starks experience is over. They invaded a independent show, which was in LA, which they were doing the Battle of LA. I don't see there was any big whoop-de-doo about it. Most of those guys have wrestled in PWG. Not a big deal. Absolute Ricky Starks music hit. Starks walked out onto the ramp with a Action Andretti. Starks. Well, well, well. Am I looking at a bunch of idiots who couldn't get the job done last week because I'm still standing right here? Action. Chris, shut the hell up before I come and take that baseball bat and shove it up your ass. Garcia, shut your mouth. Don't disrespect him. Action. Daniel, are you sure Sammy is a good guy to be leading by example? Sammy can't even keep control over his own wife or where his wife's hands go because last week those hands were right between my legs. Garcia, I remember when I was a young pro wrestler like you, but now I have a sports entertainer like Chris Jericho next to me. I'm on top of the world. Starts. It isn't about you, Count Succular. Move aside from me. Chris, I'm talking to you, Hager. You dumb idiot. You are the village idiot, and that is a shame. And despite being with Chris Jericho, you've still got that dumb lisp. Next week, I want it to be against Jake Hager on Dynamite. Hager, I like this hat, but little Ricky, I wear lots of hats. And one of them says professional MMA fighter. I'm twice your size. Starts. Next week, you're going to get in the ring with someone who is absolute. Main event time. Best of 7. Final match. Escalera de la Muertes Dos World Champion Trios Champions. Death Triangle versus the Elite. Ugh, Don Callis is on fucking commentary. I can't stand him. Oh my god, I thought I'm telling you, Bobby Heenan was a fucking good announcer. He is just fucking awful. He needs to get the fucking Get out of the AEW. Please, Tony Khan, please, if you please, just listen to me. Get rid of Don Callis. The Elite don't need him. They're baby faces right now. They don't need him. He is a heel. It makes no sense. Get him the fuck out of there. Don't let me see him on TV. He can still be employed doing producing shit, but I don't want him seeing him on my television or my computer, wherever the fuck I'm watching Dynamite. Kenny and Pac traded strikes, and then Penta El Zero Miedo and Matt Jackson slugged it out. Nick sat out with a facebuster on Ray Phoenix. Matt Jackson tried to climb the ladder, but Pac pulled him down. Matt cracked Penta with a destroyer. Kenny snapped Ray Phoenix back with a half and half suplex. Omega nailed Penta El Zero Miedo with a Snapdragon suplex. Pac blasted Omega with a shotgun dropkick off the top turnbuckle. Omega fired back with a Snapdragon suplex on Pac. Matt Jackson jumped over the top and smashed Pac through the table. Matt Jackson dropped Penta El Zero Miedo on the ladder. Ray Phoenix sent Nick flying with a top rope Rana onto the ladder. The fans chanted, "Fight forever, fight forever." Pac spiked Omega with a poison Rana. The Lucha Brothers smashed Kenny with the Made in Japan. "We are witnessing a war here tonight," said Excalibur. Matt and Nick served up suplexes all around. Matt used his locomotion suplex on Ray Phoenix right onto the ladder. Nick Jackson went flying with a 450 splash to the outside, through a table on Penta El Zero Miedo. Matt climbed the ladder, but Alex Abrahantes shoved the ladder. Cutler sprayed Alex in the eyes with cold spray. Pac cracked Kenny with the hammer. Pac dropped Kenny on the floor with the Falcon Arrow. Pac made the climb up the ladder, but Matt Jackson met him up there. Penta decimated Matt with a fear factor on the ladder. They did like a bridge type situation. If you go back to Take Over New Orleans, the way they had the ladder, and then Damo and what's his face? Oh my god, I can't think of the guy's name. Oh shit. Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan, the way they had him, it was like a bridge from the announce table to the ring. So you know how that whole thing is set up if you haven't seen it already. Ray Phoenix climbed to the top of the ladder, but Kenny Omega met him up top. Kenny hit the one-wing angel from the ladder on Ray Phoenix. Pac jumped off the top turnbuckle for the black arrow, but Kenny raised his knees. Kenny climbed to the top of the ladder and pulled the belts down. New AEW World Trios Championships. And next week they are coming from tomorrow. It's tonight. They're going to be in the Save Martin Center in Fresno, California, and that is AEW. They're starting to slowly build to Revolution. They have plenty of time. So that is that. If you're thinking about that, I'm going to actually do this with NXT, you could go fuck off, because I am not doing that. I wasn't watching it in the first place, so I'm not going to do this on here. All right. SmackDown results. This is coming from the report of Ringside News. Tonight's SmackDown is set to feature a tag team championship match. The Usos defend their titles against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Also scheduled for tonight is Ricochet versus Top Dollar in a Royal Rumble qualifying match, and appearance from new SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. It should be interesting to see how things play out on tonight's show. SmackDown kicks off with the Bloodline destroying the ringside area with Sami Zayn standing on a ravaged announce table as Roman Reigns makes his entrance with Paul Heyman. With the full Bloodline in the ring, Memphis crowd acknowledges Reigns. We're saying they were going to start things off tonight. Reigns says he'd like to hear from the honorary Oots, Sami Zayn. Zayn says that they're putting everybody on notice that 2023 belongs to the Bloodline. Zayn says they are sending a message this year. Reigns cuts Sami off and says he wants to talk about what happened last year. Reigns laughed off the notion that we lost. Reigns says that I didn't lose. Zayn lost. He was the one pinned, and he's moving forward from that. Reigns asks why Sami Zayn called his shot and guaranteed a win. Reigns says he is the only one who can do that. And Zayn calling his shot and losing it is embarrassing. Reigns has asked Zayn if he's trying to be him, and if he thinks he can do things better. Reigns begins to scream at Zayn as Jey Uso holds Jimmy back. As Reigns continues to berate Zayn, Kevin Owens then comes out with a sad and confused look on his face, just how like we were when we found out about Vince McMahon. Owens says that before things go too far, Reigns needs to calm down and that he has misdirected anger. And the last time Reigns was angry, he was the one who caused it. Like how Owens is once again the cause of his anger, not Zayn. Owens says if Reigns wants to deal with the KO problem, the best way to do it is for an undisputed WWE Universal title match at the Royal Rumble. Reigns says he doesn't care. He just never wants to see Owens ever again. Owens says he will see Reigns at the Royal Rumble and goes back having gotten the match that he wanted. So basically, he fucking got what he wanted. They go to commercial break. They come back and we have, or the show has, Kofi Kingston versus Santos Escobar. The match begins with what? Kofi Kingston versus Santos Escobar, and I missed it. Oh, fuck Vince McMahon. I swear I hate his guts. Oh my god, I am fucking pissed. I am pissed. Ay, dos míos. This match begins with a lockup. Escobar backs Kingston in the corner and hits a kick to the midsection. Kingston ducks under a lariat and hits a hurricanrana. Escobar hits a baseball sidekick and Kingston handstands his way to the stairs, like his many Royal Rumble spots. Kingston throws Escobar over the top rope and Escobar sells it like he actually been eliminated from the Royal Rumble match. They go to commercial break with Escobar hitting running knee in the corner and covering for a 2 count. Escobar is sent over the top rope but saves himself on the stairs before being scared to the floor by Woods playing the trombone. We get it, WWE. The Royal Rumble is coming. Back in the ring, Kingston hits a dropkick and then the SOS. Kingston goes up top and dives, but is countered by a knee strike from Escobar. Kingston hits the boom drop, and Del Toro climbs up to the top rope to distract the ref, allowing Kingston's foot to be grabbed by Wilde. Escobar takes advantage and hits Phantom Driver and covers for a 3 count. Santos Escobar wins. Every time I see this, I'm going to keep saying fuck Vince McMahon because I am pissed. This looked like a good match. This read like a good match, and I fucking missed it. Thank you, Vince McMahon. And I'm going to give, every time I say fuck Vince McMahon, you're going to get a fucking goddamn middle finger. If you can't handle it, oh fucking well. Come back from commercial break. We have Karrion Kross and Scarlett versus Madcap Moss and Emma. And another thing I'm going to say, fuck Vince McMahon. I didn't get to see the fucking debut match of Scarlett. Then they released a new shirt. All right? So I'm already, like, I am pissed. I am fucking pissed to no end. I am so fucking pissed. Oh. Oh. And I seen pictures that he had the fucking trench coat back. I'm like, you. So, anywho, SmackDown comes back live with the mixed tag match already underway. Scarlett and Emma are both tagged in, and Emma hits a shoulder tackle. Emma hits a running splash in the corner and covers for a 2. Emma hits a suplex and then goes for a cover, but Kross gets in the ring and pulls Emma off. Kross tries to intimidate Emma, but Emma slaps Kross and tags Moss in, who goes for a lariat, but Scarlett grabs his foot to trip him up and allows Kross to hit a lariat. Kross locks in the cross jacket and Moss passes out, and the ref calls for a technical submission. So we have the winner, Kross and Scarlett, which, oh, I'm fucking pissed. Fuck Vince McMahon. Every time I'm going to say that, every time I get pissed off and fucking aggravated, I'm going to say that. And it's going to be a running fucking thing on this. I got to work something out to get some sort of like thing to flash up. It says, fuck Vince McMahon. They come back from commercial break, returns live with before this whole thing, they put the mask on and Kross has the tower card for Rey Mysterio. Please, Kross, do me a favor, fucking beat the shit out of him for what he did to Dominic. You know, and Kross, go after Angie. Let's do this shit. Let's do this. SmackDown returns live with SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair making her entrance. Charlotte says she will not rest as champion. She will do more and will knock down everyone in her way. Charlotte says a champion expects the unexpected and rises to the occasion. Charlotte is cut off by Sonya Deville, who says she can see through Charlotte's lies. Deville says they should be an asterisk next to her latest title victory. Deville calls out Charlotte and challenges her to beat a fresh fighter and challenge Charlotte to a title match right now. Charlotte accepts her challenge and a huge support from Memphis crowd. So we have this match. Our impromptu title match begins with Deville taking a cheap shot while Charlotte has her back turned. Charlotte quickly hits a big boot to knock Deville out of the ring. Our match continues after the commercial break with Deville hitting a chop block to the back of Charlotte's knee. Charlotte hits a kick to the head and follows it with a lariat and then several knife-edge chops. Deville goes up top, but Charlotte dodges the flying knee strike and hits a lariat. Charlotte hits a spear and then locks in the figure 8, and Deville taps out. Winner Charlotte Flair, and she keeps the title. We're going into Ricochet versus Top Dollar. I want to send out my congratulations to Ricochet and his girlfriend, Samantha. I want to congratulate them on their engagement. And a little fact where they got engaged. It was at the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. I legitimately was walking by there. I really need to form something. I have videos that I can prove that I was there. And they got married as literally it was in front of the Sphinx and all the carvings and stuff like that, and near the little ponds and the little water features and everything. But I was just blown away because I looked at the pictures and I'm like, fuck, I was there less than a year ago. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool saying, I know where that is. You know? But congratulations to Ricochet and Samantha. Ricochet versus Top Dollar. The match begins with Ricochet going up top, but Top Dollar grabs him by the neck and power slams him down to the mat. Top Dollar and Ricochet off the middle rope as the crowd is very much opposed to Top Dollar's dominance. Ricochet dodges a lariat and slams Top Dollar using his own momentum. Ricochet hits a shooting star press in the cover for the 3. Winner, Ricochet. After the match, Top Dollar, Ricochet shake hands, and Ashante hits Ricochet from behind. Hit Row teams up, and beats down Ricochet until Braun Strowman runs out to the ring to save him as Hit Row immediately runs out of the ring. We go to the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champion match. The Usos versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Our main event tag team championship match begins with Sheamus hitting a side headlock takedown to Jimmy Uso. Sheamus counters an attempted hip toss and hits a lariat. McIntyre tags in and hits Jimmy with a belly-to-belly throw. Jay tags in the match and is hit with a lariat. Jimmy causes a distraction and Jay hits McIntyre with a Samoan drop. Jay hits a vertical suplex and McIntyre is sent outside the ring with an uppercut from Jay Uso. We come back from commercial. Sheamus hitting a lariat to Jay, sending him over the top rope. Sheamus grabs Jay and hits with a total of 20 beats of the Bataran. Sheamus covers for a 2. The Usos climb up the opposite corner. I lost my opposite corner, and McIntyre runs in, and McIntyre and Sheamus both hits an avalanche white noise, and Sheamus covers Jay for a 2. Jay hits an enziguri, and McIntyre tags himself in. McIntyre goes to the cover and hits a claymore and covers, but Jimmy breaks the count at 2. Sheamus tags in and goes for a powerbomb, but Jimmy makes the blind tag, and the Usos hit a double super kick and then the 1D. Jimmy covers, but McIntyre breaks it up for a long 2 count. Solo Sikoa takes out McIntyre with a spinning solo as the ref is distracted. Butch and Rich Holland run out to take out Sikoa. Back in the ring, Sheamus hits a bro kick and covers, but Jay drags Jimmy out of the ring to break the count. Sheamus dives outside to take out both Usos, and back in the ring, Sheamus goes for an Irish curse, but Jimmy rolls through onto a roll-up. Jay pushes his feet onto Jimmy back to assist the 3 count. Winners, the Usos. So let me see if anybody has see. Let's see if I can get a person who wrote this, because I'd like to give them the let's see who actually wrote this. I don't think that there was an actual editor that wrote this. So thank you again, Ringside News. On to Monday Night Raw, and then I can get you out of here. WWE Raw will start this week. Match by match highlight and review from the show will take place on the page. Feel free to leave any reactions in the comments below. It should be a big night for WWE. Continues to build towards January 28th Royal Rumble. They are running out of time to tell these stories, so will it be interesting to see what they'll do this week. Tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw promises to be an exciting night of action. There haven't been any matches announced for the show. The updated match card goes as followed. Alexa Bliss explains her brutal actions. What's next for Austin Theory? You could already tell that Vince McMahon was hovering. He cannot wait to sink his fucking teeth back into creative. He is fucking antsy. He's like, he's having the shakes right now. Monday Night Raw opens, and we have Kevin Owens' theme song plays. He comes out to the ring. He gets on the mic and says that in 3 weeks he will challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed, but he's interrupted by JBL. JBL starts by insulting the crowd. He says that no one believes Kevin Owens can beat Roman Reigns. He then introduces Baron Corbin as the only person who has a pinfall victory over Reigns in 3 years. Baron Corbin's music hits, and he comes and says there's no chance Owens can beat Reigns. He calls Owens a loser. Corbin says he will win the Royal Rumble match and he will go on to beat Reigns again. Owens has buried himself in the turnbuckles. That I seen that picture. I actually seen that picture, and I'm like, somebody said comment. Oh dear God, Vince McMahon back at creative. Owen says they have managed to say nothing of interest. He then says he has an idea. He's ready to fight them. He then offers Corbin to come to the ring for a match. JBL accepts, and the challenge on Corbin and challenges. He accepts the challenge. Corbin attacks Owens from behind and stomps in the corner. Owens fights back, but not enough is sent into the turnbuckles. Corbin is sent to the ring post. Owens with a clothesline and a senton. Owens goes for a cannonball, but Corbin escapes. Owens slams him into the announcer's desk. Owens goes for a powerbomb, but Corbin chokeslams him on the apron. They go to commercial. Owens climbs on the top, but is stopped. Corbin goes for the suplex, but is dropped, and Owens hit the Swanton Bomb, cover 1-2 kick out. Owens with a super kick and goes for a pop-up power bomb and stomped, and Corbin hits the DDT, cover 1-2 kick out. Corbin hits a deep 6, cover 1-2 kick out. Corbin hits Owens. He goes for a clothesline, but Owens hits a stunner for the win. Kevin Owens picks up the victory, and we move on. Following the match, the Bloodline are at ringside, and they brawl with Owens. Owens fights back, but not enough as Sequoia super kicks him. Owens still fights back using a steel chair and attacks the Bloodline as they retreat. We come back from commercial break. The Bloodline is walking backstage, but Pierce stops them and informs them about the tag team turmoil match. He then informs Solo that he will face Dolph Ziggler. He then informs that Owens has left the arena, and he asks security to escort the Usos out of the building. Kevin Patrick informs that Belair will be okay following the attack, and Bliss was fined. Bliss appears on the announcer's desk and claims Belair had to go and hide because she is the face of evil. She says she didn't feel bad about her actions, because she has finally taken control and is in charge. She says she isn't afraid to tear more scars into Belair's face and take the Raw Women's Championship. A video package of Uncle Howdy plays on the Titantron. He asks if she feels in charge. Uncle Howdy's music plays, and he comes out, stands on the entrance ramp, and then we go to commercial break. So we have Bayley versus Meech and Mia Yim. Before the match could begin, Bayley gets on the mic and says she has a message for Becky Lynch, and says she doesn't know if Lynch is jealous, but she says Lynch she isn't here tonight because she lost to her. She then gives Io and Kai the night off. She asks Becky Lynch to watch what she does to Meechin. She starts attacking Meechin, and Meechin fights back with a neck breaker. Bayley sent outside. Meechin kicks her. Come back from commercial break. Bailey continues to work Michin and sends her to the outside. Bailey suplexes her outside on the floor. She sends her into the ring cover. 1-2 kick out. Bailey is sent to the outside and Michin with a suicide dive on Bailey. She sends her into the ring and attacks her. She hits the German suplex on Bailey. Michin goes for a cannonball but misses. Bailey goes for a back suplex but Michin lands on her feet and kicks her. Bailey sends Michin on into the turnbuckles and then uses the backslide for the win by using the ropes. Winner, Bailey. He go in the back, and we have Kathy Kelly is backstage with Candice LeRae, who says that Gargano is bummed he can't participate tonight. Candice says the Royal Rumble is on the horizon, but she is interrupted by Rhea Ripley, who says her excitement is infuriating. She calls her delusional. God, that woman. Candice challenges her to a match, which she accepts. Austin Theory is backstage walking to the ring. We come back from commercial break. Theory's theme song plays, and he walks out to the ring. Theory gets on the mic and says, "The champ is here." Ooh. Maybe that's the hint of what his future match is going to be. He says everyone has to accept the truth that the now is forever. He asks where Seth Rollins is. The crowd chants for Rollins. He says Seth limped away from the ring because his old knee couldn't hold up. He then says Seth was outclassed and outshined, and he was taken to school by Austin Theory. Seth Rollins music, and he comes out on crutches. He immediately starts dancing, showing his legs are good. Theory says it's not 100%. Theory says he is the pinnacle of this industry. If Seth is the mountaintop, he said he surpassed Rollins and is on to bigger and better things like winning the Royal Rumble. He says he will then go to headline WrestleMania and walk out as undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Yeah, that's what he said when he had the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase, just to let you people know. He says he will go... Rollins started by asking if he's done. He says he needs to give an update on his knee. He said it isn't 100%, but it will be 100% just in time for him to win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania. He says he came out here to hear the crowd sing his song. He then says he will see Theory at the Royal Rumble and walks away. But Bobby Lashley's music plays and he comes out to the ring. Theory tells him not to come into the ring. Lashley enters the ring, spears Theory. He then chucks Theory over the top rope. Lashley says he is back and he can't wait to manhandle every superstar in the Rumble. We come back from commercial break. We have Rhea Ripley versus Candice LeRae. The match starts and Candice attacks Rhea. Candice goes for a tornado DDT, but is caught and slammed. Cover 1-2 kick out. Ripley goes to work on Candice. She attacks her in the corner. Rhea throws her across the ring. Rhea attacks Candice in the corner. She sets her up on the top rope and goes for a suplex, but she escapes and hits the German suplex. Ripley sent outside. LeRae dives onto her but is caught and slammed onto the barricade. She then locks the poison trap on the outside. She sends Candice into the ring and hits a riptide for the win. Winner, Rhea Ripley. And whoever did this report, they fucked up and they put Candice LeRae. Thank God I'm a good reader. Just saying, Ringside News. I love you people, but you gotta proofread. we we go to the back. Byron interviews Bobby, but is interrupted by MVP, who says they have some business to discuss. MVP expects to be thanked. Bobby says he appreciates him. MVP is trying to mend fences and is trying to get them back together. Lashley says they are good, but he's not going to forget what went down between them. MVP says give him a call when ready. There was a video package on Cody Rhodes. Dolph is interviewed and he says he's focused on being the best. He says the bloodline went too far. Mustafa interrupts and asks why he declined a chance to be in the tag team turmoil to face Sequoia. He says he owed him one. Ziggler says tonight it's not about tag teams, it's about Ali. Solo Sequoia is shown getting ready for his match. Come back from commercial. Byron interviews Bronson, but is interrupted by The Miz, who says Bronson saw he was outnumbered and helped him. He then extends the invitation to Reed for mixed Miz TV. Reed says he wants something, he better get paid. Solo Sequoia versus Dolph Ziggler. The match starts and Solo knocks down Ziggler. Ziggler goes for the sleeper hold, but Solo fights out of it and drops Dolph. He then hits the clothesline. Solo goes to work on Ziggler. Cover 1-2 kick out. Ziggler fights back and goes for the DDT, but is caught and thrown outside the ring. We come back from commercial break. Sequoia with a hip attack on Dolph. He then goes to work on Sequoia. He hits a Samoan drop on Ziggler. Solo goes for a hip attack, but is stopped by Ziggler and sends him into the post. He hits the jumping DDT, cover 1-2 kick out. Ziggler hits the zigzag, cover 1-2 kick out. Ziggler goes for the super kick, but is stopped. He goes for the famouser, but is caught. And Sequoia hits the Samoan drop, Samoan spike, and for the win. Sequoia picks up the victory. So following the match, the Usos came out to celebrate with Sequoia. The Judgment Day are shown making their way to the ring. Bayley tells Mitchum that she isn't afraid to get some help to kick her ass. She tells her not to step up for someone who won't be here for her. The Miz's theme song plays and he goes out to the ring. The Miz introduces Dominic. Dominic's music plays and he comes out to the ring. The Miz thanks Dominic for coming out. Dominic says he learned to roll with his crew in prison. He asked what was it like to be on the inside. He said snitches get stitches. Can't believe I just said that. Oh my God, this feels like Vince McMahon. Miz says they want to know what happened. He says he was locked up with the world's worst, most dangerous people. He said he had to do what he had to do to see Rhea on the other side. Or mommy. Dominic narrates that he overheard his cellmate punch a hole in his face. He says he slapped him for saying that. Miz says Dominic deserves a round of applause. The Miz says his source told him that he was in jail for a few hours. Damien got pissed off. Miz called him out for wearing expensive clothing, but says he may have been misinformed. Damien says they will win the tag team turmoil. The OC's theme song played and they came out. That should have went a different way. The way I'm reading it, that should have went a different way. Whatever, at this point, it sounds like Vince McMahon It's basically, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. So it smells like Vince McMahon's already has his DNA written all over him. Written all over this. Tag team turmoil. The match starts with Anderson, who knocks down Balor. Balor fights back and attacks Anderson in the corner. He tags out Gallows, continues the attack. Gallows attacks Balor in the corner. Finn tags out. Gallows kicks Priest in the midsection. Priest rocked by a kick. Finn tags in and attacks the legs of Gallows. Finn tags out and Priest attacks Gallows. Gallows fights back with a suplex. Anderson attacks Balor and Priest. Anderson with a kick to Priest. Finn distracts the referee as Priest sends Anderson into the steel steps. Anderson tags out and Gallows attacks both men. Gallows slams Balor to the mat. He tags in Anderson, who tripped up by Dominic, as Balor rolls him up for the pin. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin come out next, and Cedric dives onto Balor. Cedric with a body slam. He tags in Shelton Benjamin, who hits a suplex on Balor. Shelton with a clothesline. Cedric tags in and continues to work on Finn. Balor tags out and Damien comes in, but suplexed by Shelton. He tags in Cedric and they hit a double team move. Balor sent to the outside. Cedric attacks Priest in the ring. Cedric with a neutralizer on Priest. Alexander with a dropkick. Balor tags in and Cedric is planted with a South of Heaven, and Balor hits a coup de grace for the win. Next opponents came out. Alpha Academy comes out. And we come back from commercial break. Priest with a broken arrow on Gable. Cover 1-2 kick out. Priest tags in Balor, who continues to attack Gable before tagging out. Priest with a diving leg drop. Balor continues to work Gable. Gable with a back suplex. Both men tag out on Otis. Runs through Priest. Otis body slams Balor. Otis hits a caterpillar. Otis with a power slam on Balor. He goes for the splash, but Gable is trapped by Balor and Priest hits the clothesline for the pinfall. Balor is hurt on the outside. Okay, that's a pivotal situation right now. So Dominic had to replace Finn because he is medically disqualified. The Street Profits theme song plays and they come out next. So Dominic is now I'm hoping, listen here, Paul, listen here, Vince, listen here, Bruce, listen here, fucking Kevin Dunn. This is the time where we need to fucking implement the fucking goddamn Freebird rule, all right? So that means if they were to win the tag team titles, all of them get it. Balor, Dominic, and Damien. I don't want to hear anything of it. Okay? So we come back from commercial break. Dawkins attacked Dominic. He tags out and Ford hits the dropkick on Dominic. He tags out Dawkins, continues the attack. He attacks him in the corner. Priest tags in and so does Ford. Priest attacks Ford in the corner. Ford fights back and sends Priest outside. Dominic distracts Ford as Priest takes him out. Dawkins then dives onto Priest and Dominic. I actually seen this on TikTok. Where he did that fucking flip, he barely touched anybody. Barely. Street Profits need to allow other people to gain a little notoriety. They've had plenty of time with the fucking Usos and the New Day. We're over it. We're over it. So Dawkins attacks Dominic. Sorry, I'm lost my place here. Ford fights back and sends Priest to the outside. Dominic distracts Ford, and Priest takes him out. Dawkins. Okay, moving on after the commercial break. Priest tags in Dominic, who continues to attack Dawkins. Dominic goes to work on Dawkins. Dominic tags out to Priest, who body slams Dawkins. Dominic tags in Dawkins, tripped onto the rope. Dominic goes for the 619, but stopped by Dawkins. He tags Ford in, who hit the crossbody and sends Priest outside. He kicks Dominic in and hits the back suplex. Dominic tags in Priest, who attacks the Street Profits. Dawkins tags out and attacks Priest, who tags in Dominic. Ford dives onto Priest. Ford hits a 450 splash, cover 1-2, saved by Priest. Priest sent into the steel steps. Dominic rolls up Ford for the win. Judgment Day pick up the win, and they're the number one contenders for the WWE Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Following the match, the Usos came out and stared down the Judgment Day, and that is it. I want to thank, and I'm going to be using them from this point forward because I don't know what's going on Raw or SmackDown anymore because I don't watch it. I want to thank Ringside News for giving me the notes and the rundowns of each of the shows. I do appreciate that, and thank you for making them available to us. But that's basically about it. Now I'm going to give you a little synopsis of why I'm going to give you my thoughts on this whole Vince McMahon selling the company situation. I'm hoping it actually goes to Fox because due to the fact is that they will then have the control of what we want. They will listen to us. Raw will get a little bit more edgier. SmackDown will be able to get a little bit more edgier. They could put it on a station that it's going to be permanent and they're not going to do fucking stick and moves type situation. I don't know how good FS1 is, but you could put Monday Night Raw on FS1 and you could put SmackDown and leave it on the Fox affiliates. And then every other year you could switch it. You have Raw on Fox affiliates, or you could just, do whatever. They'll have a permanent home and they will have a single person that we can trust as Americans. The Saudis should not be ever into this. But because they've done business with them with the Prince, they kind of have first dibs. Now, we already know that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is going to be walking out the door. Good luck seeing fucking women's wrestling, because that's one of the reasons why I think Stephanie McMahon doesn't want to have nothing to do with this. She knows what they are about. She was just playing nice with them, and she was trying to just get this 10-year deal out of the way. And then after that, they weren't going to go over there again. But I'm not thrilled about this whole situation because I truly love WWE. On the behest of everybody thinking that I don't, I love it. I've been watching it for 40 fucking years, okay? I'm going to be 41 years old in 5 months, in exactly 117 days by the time I'm finished recording this. I am disappointed. My heart hurts. My grandfather, God rest his soul, he put me on his knee at 3 fucking months old. He had me here. He had his coffee in the other hand, and actually I was here and the coffee, because I'm trying to remember how he had his table in the den that we had at my grandparents' house. He had the coffee in this hand and he had me in the other. We had it on Fox 5 Superstars. My grandparents loved to watch me on the weekends. I spent a lot of time there and a lot of time at my other grandparents' house. Thankfully, they were all legitimately a 20-minute ride from each one another, which I was very lucky, and I'm very blessed that my both grandparents had built-in swimming pool, built-in swimming pools. We had such a great time. I was fortunate for a grandchild to have both grandparents have pools, and I'm just blessed on that. But moving on, when I was over at my grandparents' house, which are my mother's parents, I was instantaneously 12 o'clock running in. I was watching it. I was, an hour of wrestling. Me and my grandfather. It was our time to bond. As time went on and I got older, I got involved in it a lot more. I got more obsessed about it. But now I'm really not. I'm obsessed with it that I like to talk about it, but it's not going to make or break my day. Like if I know that I'm going to be doing something else that is more fun or a lot more fun or more important than wrestling, I know wrestling can take a backseat because now I can go and watch it whenever the fuck I want now. So it's not such a big deal. But me knowing this and what Vince McMahon has done, my grandfather's, oh, Jesus Christ, is probably doing fucking goddamn death rolls in his fucking coffin right now. And, oh my God, I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for him. If he was still alive, I think he'd stop watching, or probably just switch to AEW and be done with it. I can knowingly watch the product. That's why I want to thank Ringside News for making these reports and reviews available to me, because I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I watched on Monday. I watched Ring of Honor old pay-per-views and old events, and I'm glad I did what I did, because I have to get caught up with what's going on, because there's going to be a TV deal for AEW, and that's going to be put in. And I was thinking about maybe turning to Impact, but Impact. I would rather watch NXT, and I hate NXT now. Oh my God. And God help the people who go there now. God help them. Oh my God, it's going to be fucking a disastrous career move. I'm hoping that for the people who do decide to go there, that they have like an out. If they don't like it and they have like an out after a year, they can go and say, you know what, I want my release, because I just can't anymore with them. But this is what I think is going to be best off to do, because I really can't, I cannot talk about it, and I feel like that, for the people who do still watch it and they depend on me, and I've been, here, and I just feel bad, and it's the guilt in me. And of course, the guilt, like I got exposed to 3 sets of guilt when I was growing up, okay? Truth be told. I got exposed to Italian guilt, Jewish guilt, and Puerto Rican guilt. All 3 are fucking deadly fucking, a triple threat there. It's a deadly fucking mixture here. And I couldn't knowingly do this to you people. I love you guys. You guys make me feel and you guys make me want to be better. And, there's some days that, I say that I'm going to do something and I don't do it because I got too much going on, and I'm basically clinically depressed right now. I'm going through so many emotions. I'm still grieving. I still grieve from my mom, and there's days that I can't physically sit down here and do shows. I can't, because I'm not here. All right. But, things are getting better, hopefully. Praise the Lord and everything. And I'm hoping that, like, as this year goes by, it's going to get better and better. And that means the show's going to get better. You're going to see my smiling face, and I'll be a lot better off. And, that is that. That is that. I'm trying to make this show very short tonight, or for Friday and everything, because probably people are going to want to go out on tomorrow night. And they don't want to be watching this. They could watch this and listen to this while they're getting ready to go out. Unlike me tomorrow night, I'm going to be home because I get to go see my son on Saturday, which again, I get to shave his face. I'm so scared. And I'm also not physically, emotionally ready for this. He's getting too big, too fast, and it's just, it's just too much for me right now, If this would have happened 5 years ago, then I could still have my baby. And with the me that I can't have any more children due to, obviously, that I've told everybody on here that I had a hysterectomy in 2020 and I can't have any more children. And I'm just trying to savor every second of him being a kid and not be an adult, even though he's got autism. And let me tell you something. That that kid has got me through the worst year of my life. He has been nothing but my rock. And I thank him. I thank him. He is probably other than, other people, but I think he's more of my hero because he's the one that's keeping it together so I can keep it together. And we've been, the fearsome twosome, the Anthony and Melissa, it's the traveling show, we're all each other has. And I just, I'm just taking it day by day. And for you guys to be very patient with me. And I say thank you to this every single time. I'm blessed to have people in my life. And, that is why it pains me to see what's going on in WWE. It pains me to see the destruction of a company that I've loved for 40 years. And I just can't believe that what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. And I didn't know this side of Vince, and Vince really hurt me because due to the fact is that I perceived him one way and I found out other things, and it was disappointing. This guy it could be my grandfather. He's what, close to 80 years old. My grandparents are are 80 years old. They're not that much older than Vince McMahon. I mean, theoretically, he could be my grandfather, and for me to see that, it's like seeing like your grandfather going to jail or going to prison because he murdered somebody or he did something to somebody, and you've known all your life that he was a sweet man, and he put his family first and everything like that. He put everybody else first but him, knowing that he was what you're describing him, that he's a completely different person. He's the exact opposite, and it hurt me. It hurt me big time as a fan because you see in that man, he's a very powerful man, and I'm thinking he's got everything together, but he didn't. He didn't, and he's gonna hopefully pay for this one way or another. And it's the saying, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and yes, I totally believe that. So I'm just hopefully that this goes quickly. I would like to rejoin watching WWE. I just got to be very cautious because I can't support a guy that he's determined to destroy a company, and it's just it's just a shame. It's just a shame, and I can't get mad at it. I can't yell at it because you know what? I have no control over it. But we do. We do have control. We do have control of our televisions and our computers and our devices that we cannot view it. Let it sink. Let it sink. Let it sink. And then they're gonna say, well, why is the fucking ratings down? Oh, because it's Vince, he's back. Well, let's get rid of Vince and then we can get the ratings back up. So I don't know what's going on. We're gonna just keep our eyes on Twitter and everything else. I will give you my thoughts on who gets the Showcase Showdown. Drew, who gets the Showcase Showdown. And then I'll give you my complete thoughts. But right now, I can't support with Vince being back. I can't watch it because it just pains me. It's especially from what I heard and what happened on Raw and SmackDown. It's got Vince's fucking fingerprints, and it's disgusting. And I'm hoping that Vince McMahon gets taken to the cleaners by his wife because they're still married. Good for her. Good for her. She's smart. She's like, let him fucking screw women and fucking rape them and shit like that. And force himself on them. I'm going to stay married to the son of a bitch because sooner or later, I know what's going to happen. They're going to sell the company and everything like that. And guess what happens? I get a cut of that. I get a cut of that because he fucking goddamn cheated on me. And I love the fact, and I'm hoping if he gets like $10 billion and he's going to have to fork that money, half of that over to his fucking wife, I will be, I'll say karma finally got him. Karma finally got him through where his most precious possession is his fucking wallet. And that's it. And then I can then go back and watch it and give the two fucking middle fingers and say, fuck Vince McMahon, because you just got fucked by your wife. And then we move on, and then we go say hasta la vista to Mr. Vince McMahon. So that is it. I want everybody to have a great Friday. I will be back here next week for episode 274. We're just going to keep on doing, and I want to say thank you again to Ringside News for going to keep me in the know that I don't feel like I'm missing anything. And you know what? Reading that less than 2 hours for everything. You just got your week's worth of wrestling in less than 2 hours. How do you like that? And you get a little backstory on me and a little bit of insightful to me. So I will see you next week for 274. And it'll be uploaded and everything. I also want everybody to go check out harrys.com. Get all your shaving and toiletry essentials at harrys.com. Go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com and murder your thirst and get really righteous sparkling water and spring water. Also, please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com, and they still have pumpkin out. Just keep on ordering because you don't know when they're going to go bye-bye. Please also go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net, and they're going to be coming out with their next event. And if you can, please go check that out and all their backup events on Fight TV. Please pay that $4.99. You won't be sorry because you get those events in the package, and it's great. So I want everybody to have a great Friday, have a great weekend. Enjoy. The people who have 3-day weekends, enjoy. So I will see you here next week. I love you all. And what do we say? We're going to be saying at the end of each fucking show now. Fuck Vince McMahon, and he could go and suck it on the upswing. I love you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.